are powers on Earth too hidden to be seen, and conspiracies too vast to comprehend. For years, the world has seen fact distorted, reality manipulated, and the truth concealed. Join the Pierre Sebak podcast to uncover the real meanings behind ancient aliens and their symbolism.
Hi, this is Pierre Sebak, unlocking the keys to the mysteries. Now today I'm going to be looking at the Seraphim, and I'm going to be arguing that the Seraphim is identical to the Harpy. Now we haven't really discussed who or what the Harpies are, so I thought I would try and introduce some new information. This information incidentally can be found in my book Holographic Culture. So essentially today I'm going to be talking about how the Harpy and the Seraphim, who are derived from the angelic host, are one and the same. So to begin this, we're going to go through some polyglottal symbolism. So I'm going to look at wordplays which are repeated in different languages. Primarily these wordplays are found within the Greek and the Hebrew. So for example, we would find that the Seraphim is the same as the Harpy, and that the wordplays are identical. Okay, so this is based upon polyglottal symbolism, wordplays which repeat in multiple languages. In this respect, the signifiers of the Harpy is identical with the Seraphim. So by deduction, we can say that the Seraphim and the Harpy are one and the same. So first of all, I'm going to just summarize a few etymologies, and I'm going to draw comparisons. Then we're going to deconstruct this in a little bit more detail and try and understand what this actually means and what it actually symbolizes. So, if we look at the Greek etymology, the word harpy is from the Greek arpue, which literally means the abductors. Now, the arpue are also a cognate of apto, which is to radiate. Now, apto, to radiate, is implicit of a reptile, as also found within the Greek word erpton, a reptile. Now, again, the understanding of the abductors, again, as in the Hebrew with the Seraphic host, they are aligned to the host. So Erpton, a reptile, and Opolite, a soldier, are closely aligned symbolically. Now Opolite, a soldier, again, is connected to a type of vessel, so the implication would be of a naval soldier. The term Opolite means a shield bearer, but this is one who alights from a vessel. Pleon, which is a boat, related to Oplon, a shield. Again, within the Greek symbolism, the boat is adorned with a shield, and within the scaphological symbolism, the study of angelic boats within mythology and religion, Oplon, a shield, is used to denote an angelic carrier or a vessel, a type of ship or boat which belongs to an angel. So again, we find similar signifiers are found with the Seraphim in the Hebrew. This is polyglottal symbolism. We have the Seraphim. Again, the Seraphim, seraph, is really inimical of shover, which is a captor. So again, there has this connotation of abduction with the Seraphim. But the Seraphim are closely related to Seraph, a fire, Seraph, a serpent, Sapan, a sailor, Saphina, a ship, Saphira, a sphere. So I'm just going to quickly draw a comparison now, switch them over so that we're clear on what we mean. So Apuin, abductor, is equivalent to Seraph or the Seraphim, which would be inimical to Shover, a captor. Again, Apuin, abductor, is related to apto, which is to radiate, which is Seraph, a fire, with the Seraphim. Erpton, a reptile, is related to apto, which is to radiate in the Greek. Again, Seraph, a fire, and Seraph in the Hebrew. Opolite, a soldier, is concordant with the Seraph, as in Sapan, which is a sailor, and Saphina, a ship. Again, Opolite, a soldier, is related to Pleon, a boat, via the etymology of Oplon, a shield. Again, Sapan, a sailor, Saphina, a ship, Saphira, which is a sphere. Now, the sphere within symbolism is often used to denote the opening wheels, the spinning wheels. So sphere is an angelic carrier, or is a receptacle or a type of vessel for the Seraphim angels, and this is found within the symbolism. Hence the serpent is often combined with the wheel within the signifiers of the throne chariot, which is a type of angelic vessel or vehicle. So if we look at those etymologies, and particularly with regards to the harpy, we can say that at symbolic level the harpy is interchangeable with oppolita soldier. Okay, so really we're looking here at the angelic host. They're one and the same thing. So we can say that it's also an alien being because it's visualized as a serpent, and it's a type of angelic sailor, if you like, a crew member of a naval ship. So it's very similar to the Seraphim, who are related to Sapana sailor, Safina, which is a boat. So the Harpies can be understood to be a type of military contingent. They belong to a ship. This ship is represented as a flying ship, which can be understood to be a type of shield. Now, the shields within classical mythology were often used as a type of missile, and they were projectiles which were thrown out of catapults. So a shield has this connotation of a spinning shield, which was used to represent an angelic vehicle or a carrier. So the shield at one level represents a ship, in the same way that the spinning wheels within the biblical and apocrypha tradition is identified with a chariot. So the ship and the chariot are one and the same. The signifiers are the same. Now, if you like, the harpy, who can be understood as the abductors, they are twinned in the Judaic mysteries with the host, which can be viewed as the angelic sailors. So, for example, Malach, an angel, is Malach, a sailor. And again, it's a command structure which is based upon an armed vessel. So, if we were going to summarise this, we'd say that harpy and abductor is a cognate of oppolita soldier and oppolon, which is a shield. The shield is used in symbolism. If an angel is carrying a shield, the shield is used to represent its ship, and it's cross-referenced with the opening wheels, again, which is a carrier of a deity. So we can say at one level that the harpy are related to abduction. So again, that this is cross-compatible with the ufological tradition, because if you like, the Harpies, they abduct, but the aliens are also identified with abduction. And in the same way that the harpy is often shown with a shield, and the angels are often shown with a shield, which is an angelic carrier or a vehicle which is identified with an angelic sailor, the alien is identified with a flying saucer. So it's this elliptical craft or circular vehicle. And again, this is going back to the traditions of the angelic sailor, archon and an ark. The naval vessel of an archon is an ark. And again, the arcs are elliptical, hence an arc is a curve. And the same etymologies are found within the Greek. So I want to emphasize, at one level, we can say that the harpy, it's paranormal, and again, it's typically represented as this shining being, and we find this within the symbolism in terms of the bifurcation of the word harpy and apto, which is to kindle a fire. In this context, it would be to radiate or to give off light. Now, this attribute, which is attributed to the shining ones, as we said, Erin, a watch, is related to Erin, the shining ones or watchers, which are the Elohim. It's also related to the Seraphim also, because the Seraphim, Sofa for watcher, is related to Serapha, which is fire, and Seraph, which is a serpent. Again, within the Greek, Drakon is coming from the etymology as to watch and to shine. So, by careful and methodical reasoning, we can say that Arpui, the abductors, that they are really an elaboration semantically on the theme of Erpatana reptile. Again, Erpatana reptile is a cognate of apto, which is shine. But as I said before, the idea that the shining ones are abductors is polyglottal, and it's found within the polyglottal symbolism, or the repeating word plays, which are also found not only within the Greek but also in the Hebrew listings also. So as I said before, Shover, one who catches, is really, if you like, another term for seraph, a flaming one. And again, there is this morphological switch between the v, f and p sound. So seraph and shover, a flaming serpent, Hebrew seraph, fire. So what can we say about the symbolism which we can find within these etymologies? Well, we can say that the vocabulary really denotes that the harpy is a seraphim, and both the harpy and the seraphim are a type of abductors, and they are symbolic of the shining host, of the seraphic host. And again, fire is used as a signifier of Sirius. So for example, the seraphim is derived from Serapha, which is fire. The seraphim are often rendered as the jinn, so hence the correspondence with the jinn being born of fire, but jinn is the old Semitic word for a serpent or a worm. But again, the etymology of Sara, which is a spark, is related to Sira, which is Sirius. So the sparkling one is the shining ones, who relates to Sofa for watch and Serapha, which is fire. Those who are born of fire is this esoteric signifier of Sirius. Those who are born from Sirius. So if we were going to summarise this, we would say that the harpy and the seraphim are one and the same thing. So arpui, an abductor, is a cognate of a seraph, which is paired with shover, a captor. Again, arpui, apto to radiate, is the same as seraph and serapha, fire, and erpaton, a reptile, again seraph, which is a type of serpent. We can also say that the seraphim is a type of captor, and interchangeable with the watcher. And I just want to look at these wordplays. So in the same way that the seraphim is viewed to be a type of watcher and is concordant with abduction, the harpies also are viewed as a type of watcher, and again are related to the idea of abduction, which goes back to the angelic host, which when we break it down is really specific of the seraphic host. So if we looked at the morphological structure of seraph, which is a type of non-human angel, we have Sofa for watcher, Shover, which is a captor, Saba, which is the host. Same wordplay is polyglottal also within the Greek. So for example, harpy is related to oper, which is to view or to look, ap, which is to seize, opolite, a soldier. The context of the soldier here would be of the angelic host, but opolite, a soldier, is really a shield bearer. Opolon, which is a shield, which is related to pleon, which is a boat. So this again is a flying shield, or represented as an aerial boat or a vessel connected to one who abduct. But those who abduct are the shining ones, which are symbolic of Sirius. So exhibited within arcane symbolism, the arpui, the abductors, Greek arp, to seize, it's closely matched with the verb oper, to view or to look, and the idea of looking or watching is really indicative of an angel, specifically the watchers. Now the watchers are one and the same as the dragon. So dracane is, or draken from dracane, again is coming from the etymology to watch or to gleam or to shine or flash, which are all signifiers of Sirius. So we can say therefore that the frame of reference is really a watcher, and the watcher is one who grabs, and it's theoretical to a soldier. So these are, if you like, an abducting host. This is a host of angels which steal or take, and here we're really dealing with ancient alien abduction or ancient angelic abduction, because the two terminologies in the ancient Semitic are one and the same. Zar, the Aramaic word for an angel, is polymorphic of Zar, which is an alien, a stranger or a visitor. Okay, one who is strange, Muzar is strange, but the terminology Zar, which is an alien, is related in the modern Hebrew to Khazar, Khazar being the modern Hebrew word for an alien, a space alien. And Khazar literally means K, which is a living creature, and Zar, which is an alien, a living creature, an alien. But the Khazar is really another name for the Elakeh, a high creature or a living god. It's polymorphic, it's one and the same thing. And these were understood literally to be extraterrestrial biological entities. But as I've said before, the Elohim have deconstructed the physical parameters of reality. So therefore the ru'akh Elohim, the high spirits, they can dematerialize as high spirits, but they're represented as an elakeh, a high creature. And these creatures or hosts are really cognate with shields, flying shields and flying chariots, the chariot being a signifier of the wheel and the shield a signifier of a boat or a ship. So If we look at hoplite, which is a soldier or a shield bearer, which is symbolic of Harpie, which is an abductor, apto, which is shine, which are related to erpaton, which is a reptile. So here we're dealing with the abducting host, which are the Seraphic host. And the Seraphic host are identified with shields, which are cognate with really aerial boats, with flying boats and vessels. In today's parlance, we would say that that is a flying saucer, hence the etymology of oplon, a shield, pleon, a boat, and pleo, which is the verb to sail. So we can say therefore that the terminology of hoplite as soldier really is connoting a soldier from a vessel. So the shield bearer is one who connotes an angel with a shield, but it has a strong connotation of a naval host. We would say in today's parlance of a type of marine, this type of naval force. So once again, there is this, if you like, this relationship within symbolism between pleon, a boat, and oplon, which is a shield. In today's parlance, we would use the word a flying saucer. So we can say therefore that the armed force relating to the Harpies are designated with oplon, a shield, and again it's closely concordant with hoplite, which is a soldier. In this respect, a soldier who is derived from a ship. In symbolism, this would be the angelic host. They are one and the same. So in occult symbolism, the shield marks a military vessel and is a round motive which is employed in mythology to distinguish a vessel of a divinity, Aramaic, the opening wheels. Now, according to early classical sources, the shield is utilised in warfare as a type of flying missile, and this is a deadly projectile which was launched from a catapult. So the shield, in one respect, is an object of war, and the angels are again has this connotation of this invading host, that there is this connotation of a war which is related to their military vessels or their aerial ships. So these are really construed to be armed vessels or military ships. The flying saucers or the flying shields were literally viewed to be a type of weapon, and they are identified with the angelic sailors. Malach, an angel, Malach, a sailor. Seraph and Sepan, which is a sailor. One and the same thing. Sabaoth host, which were the heavenly host, is related to Sevet, which is a crew of a vessel. Hence, Yahweh Sabaoth is the Lord of the host. Again, Saba, which is a crew, is related to Sefer, which is a viper. This is the Seraphic host. So, the shields can be understood to be a type of spinning saucer. And again, the Greek word for shield, the terminology in Greek for shield is often used for a saucer in a figurative sense. So the flying shields were also viewed as flying saucers. And this goes into the mystery religions, and I really want to do some separate videos looking at the votive dish. And now the votive dish is a symbol of the, basically they were the votive dishes are made out of metal, and they're circular dishes, and they've got a round bobble in the middle. Now, this signifies the hieroglyph Sirius, but is also a symbol of an axle and wheel, and the axle and wheel is a denominator of the opening wheels. So the votive dishes were worshipping the opening wheels, which in today's parlance is a spinning wheel or a spinning saucer. It's a flying saucer. They would have said a flying votive dish. In today's parlance, a flying saucer. That goes back into the traditions of animal mutilation and blood sacrifice, but this is an intrinsic part of what the saucer cults are in terms of the worship of these vessels. Hence religare, which is religion, which is to mar a vessel. Religare, the Latin root, means to mar a vessel. In English we would say to worship. In Arabic, sabah, to glorify, again as this connotation of worship, is related to Sabaoth, which is the host, Sabaoth in the Arabic transliteration. So the shields are spinning saucers, and these spinning saucers can be understood to be a type of votive vessel or a votive dish. Just to summarize, we can say that pleon, a boat or a vessel, is cognate with oplon, a shield, which is an ancient motif of a flying saucer. Again, which relates to oplite, which is a soldier from a boat, one that carries a shield, which is symbolic of the angelic host. And oplite, a soldier, is related to erpaton, a reptile, and Harpie, the abductors. Same wordplay in the Hebrew between Saba, which is an army, Sepheth, which is a viper, Seraph, Shofeth, which is a captor. So That's basically the symbolism of the Harpy and the Seraphim, and how they interrelate together, and how the Seraphim and the Harpy are representing the same signifiers. They're representing the shining ones. The shining ones come in circular vessels. They're equated with abduction, and they're identified astrologically with the star system Sirius. Sira is the shining one, literally the sparkling one. The sparkling one is a signifier of a spark, which denotes the Seraphim. Serapha, which is fire. Seraph, which is a serpent. Okay, thank you very much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this. Again, I ask my audience to please pass my videos around. I also ask anyone who has not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Please give this videos a thumbs up and pass them around. This is Pierre Sabak. Thank you very much for listening. Let's try and make this a better world. Thank you very much.